Hi everyone. I'm doing this video from France where I'm still staying for a few more weeks, spending lovely time with family and nourishing myself with my being in my native land and at the same time doing my work from here. So I decided to come on live to share with you some videos that I actually recorded 2 weeks ago in the vineyard here. I'm in Champagne. So there are vineyards all over the house, everywhere. So I often go for a walk there. And I recorded some video last week for you about some overlooked tools to create what you want in your career and in your life. My experience. Hi, Michael. It's great to see you. Yes, say hi in the chat if you are seeing me and tell me where you are, where you are watching this from. So yeah, I'm in France in Champagne right now, and so I'm gonna share with you the first video that I did about this overlooked tools to create what you want in your career in your life. It's especially helpful if you been wanting something for a long time, something that you know you want, and you've been doing all the things, and you get really discouraged because nothing is working. So this may be sometimes why it's not working, and I'll share with you an example from my own life and something that hopefully is gonna help you. So this is gonna be a series of 3 videos. It's gonna be the first video that I'm gonna share, and I'll share in this week or the next week the other one. Hi, I see you in Mountain View. I just see LinkedIn users. Yeah, I'm using for the first time this tool StreamYard that allow me to stream on different social medias at the same times. And I'm noticing it's not showing me the name of the person on LinkedIn. So so I say hi, but I don't see your name. I may need to look at that next time to see what I can solve in there. So, but it's so great to see you. So I'm gonna share the video now, and I'll be staying in the comment. So if you have any questions, any comments, anything like that, I'll be in the comment sharing and responding to you live. And also, if you're watching the replay, feel free to add any question, comment afterward. I'll be there in the comment later and I'll respond. So I'll be happy to do that. Oh, this is Maud. Yes, hi. Great to see you. Glad to see you here. I love it. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, so let me get the video and I'm gonna share that with you. And in the future, I'll do some more live videos as well. Something in your career or in your life for a very long time, and you've been doing all the things that people tell you you should do. You've been knowing you want it, you're visualizing what you want, being clear on it, taking steps and steps and steps to working hard to try to manifest the thing. And maybe if you are familiar with manifesting principles, you've been doing all the manifesting principle people tell you, but it hasn't come yet, and you get discouraged and you wonder what's missing. So if it's the case, I'm going to share with you 2 overlooked tools that people often don't think about to help you manifest what you want. And these tools may be what's missing in your manifesting formula. So I'm Isabelle Perichou. I'm a leadership and purposeful career coach who help leaders and mid-career professionals do the career of their dreams, align with their purpose and passion, especially people who are stuck and don't know how do I reach the next level in my career, where I do career that has meaning and purpose. And I also help people manifest what their true dreams in their lives. And I'm actually currently in France. I'm based in California, but I'm currently visiting my family in France. And you can see behind me, I'm actually in Champagne, so the region of France where, yes, they make the champagne, and I'm actually in the vineyard. So I can show you here where I am. I get inspiration from being outside, so I decided to do a video from here, especially about what I manifested. And I'm gonna share a personal story about that specific situation and describe and share with you the 2 tools that are that may help you get you unstuck. So let me
tell you first how. So I'm currently in France, and I've been living in California for about 15 years in the US, and I'm French originally. And I've been living in California with different working visas over the years to allow me to be in the US and work from there. And a few months ago, I was in the process of renewing my visa so that I can stay longer in the US. And what was happening is that there was a misunderstanding about how long it would take for me to get this visa once we sent the application, and it was taking way more time than I had imagined to get my visa. And what was happening is that I was planning to go early August in France to have a family reunion really dear to my heart with my dad and my brother and my nephew. And so I was really planning to get my visa renewal before that time so that I can actually leave the country and knowing that I will have the paperwork to be able to come back in the US. And the visa was not coming. We're getting close to the date. The visa was not coming. The approval visa was not coming. And I kept checking online, and I find out that it would probably take way more time than I had imagined. There was some misunderstanding about the timing per se, and it was not coming. And so the day were passing, and I was missing the family reunion in France that was so dear to my heart. And I was fighting against it. I was like, hoping, every day I would check online, hoping that I would have the approval. I would even check online 3 or 4 times a day to check if I hadn't received anything. And this happened for quite a while, for 1 or 2 weeks, or even 3 weeks. And I was getting really discouraged and sad, and nothing was coming. And I was in this state of perpetual waiting, So it felt like my life was on hold, because I felt like I couldn't really plan anything because I was waiting on this to go to France and take my vacation, and so I had a hard time focusing on anything else. And what happened is that and often when that happens, you often hear people telling you, with good intention. I mean, it's a good strategy, to say, just enjoy the time you have right now, and surrender to the process, and there is a silver lining into it, and But when you are really in a phase of missing something very dear to your heart, often hearing this kind of thing is often not helpful, even if they are given with a lot of good intentions. So what happened is that I had a few calls, and in particular a call with some friends and a call with my therapist and I felt all the feelings. I felt all the feelings of disappointment that I had, of grief, because I was actually grieving. This family reunion was really important to me, and I was grieving it, feeling all the feelings with her, and all the, the anger and the grief and the disappointment and all the things. And I did that a couple of times because I was waiting for a few weeks. And what happened after that is that there is a power when you grieve. And it's one of the things I want to talk about, that actually grief is part of your toolkit for manifesting. Nobody tells you about that, or very few people tell you about that. But grief is very important, because what happened to me is that after feeling the grief, because I was really feeling like what I was missing out, feeling it, expressing it with someone who could just hold the space for my emotions without trying to reassure me, give me advice, try to have me feel better. This is what's key when you share that, having someone who is not going to try to have you feel better. Because when you are in this feeling, you just need to feel them so that they can pass through you. Because if you don't feel them, they're going to stay stuck. So it's a bit like adding, when you try to add on top of it, you don't feeling fully your feeling, and you try to add some positive layers on it. And on the outside, you're like, oh yes, everything. But inside, there is still the thing. So it's not working, because you are trying to use a patch up, like a positive patch up on the difficult feeling. And sometimes this is what I see in some of the manifestation teaching. That can be one of the reasons you may be stuck in not manifesting what you want. And so what happened for me, as I was after feeling the grief, then I was able to accept the situation. Because sometimes to accept a situation, you first need to feel all the feelings of disappointment, of anger, of grief, and all of that. You know, people tell you, oh, just accept the thing as it is. But if the feelings are blocking inside of you, you won't be able to have a genuine, what I'm talking about is a genuine acceptance, not a fake acceptance, trying to fake it, but actually genuine acceptance that you are feeling in your whole body. This is what I'm talking about. And sometimes it's not convenient, it's not comfortable. Nobody likes to feel the difficult feeling. Nobody likes to feel the grief and the disappointment. I think this is one of the reasons sometimes we don't talk about it as much in particular. And I think especially in cultures where we focus a lot on the positive and all the things, it's overlooked. And so what happened for me, but it's so, so key, after feeling all the feelings, it was easier. I was starting to accept the situation. Like, because the feeling were not like staying inside of me. I was like starting to accept, okay, this is the way it is. I tried being more trustworthy about life, about the process, accepting that it was taking a different timeline than what I had thought, accepting that. And I was starting to see also possibilities. I was like, oh, you know what, it's okay, I'll go to France later and this is gonna happen. And so brainstorming different possibilities that were exciting to me instead of being stuck in the one that I was hoping was not happening. But this was happening because I had taken the time to grieve and feel my disappointment and being witnessed in that space. And so as a result, also, you know, I grieve. And after that, because at some point the visa was still not coming. You know, I had to do this thing a couple of times because after 2 or 3 weeks, the approval was not coming. So I was keep thinking, okay, I don't know when I'm going to go to France, when it's not going to happen. So I decided, and because I had done the process of grieving, I decided, you know what, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to take my vacation now and I'm going to enjoy my time now. And I decided to go for a few days to some hot springs in Northern California. I love hot springs very much, and they are a place for me of recharging my batteries and finding inner peace and finding my own inner guidance and inner wisdoms. So I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna take a few days and go to hot springs and camp there. I love camping, especially when it's really nice in summer. So I went there for a few days camping, and after a few days, you know, of being there, I started feeling much better. I started enjoying myself. I started thinking, oh, you know what? You know, even if I don't get this approval in time, I'm going to take my vacation in California and I won't go in France. And I will just enjoy being in the hot springs. I know it's a high level problem. You may think, oh, what is she complaining about? She has California and France. But, you know, it's hard when you are far away from your native culture, even if it's a choice. And because of, you know, visa situation, you cannot go when you want. It's actually, you have to experience it to know the pain that can create inside of your system. If you haven't been through that, it might be hard for you to fully understand or how that can be difficult. So, but as a result, I was enjoying myself and at the hot springs, and you know, and feeling and so well. After a few days, I came back to my apartment in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I was like, okay, great. Now I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna take my week of vacation here. I'm gonna maybe go back to the hot springs. And I had let go of France completely. Like I was like, and actually, it's gonna be fine. I'm not gonna go to France anymore. It's good. I was really feeling at peace with the decision, but true acceptance. Like congruency in your acceptance, not fake acceptance where you say you accept, but inside you are feeling some blockages around it. And do you know what happened? The day I came back and I was feeling so good, then I got the approval for my visa. This has happened several times for me, the way I was the most surrendered, because I was surrendered to the process and I was letting go and not attached to the outcome and thinking, you know what, the best is gonna happen for the best. So the two tools I want to talk to you, the two tools that I'm talking about are grief and surrender. And when I say surrender, it's surrendering to the outcome, feeling like letting go of being attached. Because what happens is that when we get too attached to what we want, like, you know, imagine you have a glass and you're holding it too tightly, it can break. Versus when you're holding it lightly, it's not going to break. So it's kind of the same thing. When you want something so bad that you're kind of holding onto it and you keep waiting and waiting, it's actually the thing you want is being pushed away because it's not a very positive energy to attract the thing you want. So when you are surrendered and not attached to the outcome, often it's easier to have the things come along. And a lot of manifestation teachers talk about that, which I think it's really important. However, what I think is not often talked about is a combination of grief and surrender. Because sometimes it can be really hard to surrender. You can fake the surrender, pretend you are surrendering, but inside you are still holding resentment for not having the thing you want. And especially if you have been wanting something for so long and you are frustrated and you feel like if you don't have it, this is the end of the world, you know, unless you have it, otherwise your world is gonna fall apart if you don't have these things. And I know what I'm talking about because I've been there several times. So if you feel that way, I hear you, you know. And this is in this case where taking the time to feel the feelings, the grief, the disappointment with someone who can hold the space for you to really feel it, this is where it's gonna shift something inside that's gonna allow you to truly surrender, not fake the surrender, but truly surrender so that you can actually be open to either what life wants to bring you, which might be the thing you are wanting, or sometimes there may be something else that may end up being even better than that. So if that speak to you or resonate to you in some ways, feel free to put a comment. I would like to put a note in the comment below about that, about your experience, if that resonates for you, of maybe what is the thing they've been trying to manifest and not happening. And also, if you want some support around it, I would love to support you. So, and I would offer you like a quick, free 20-minute session where we can discuss what really you want to manifest and you're wanting to manifest for so long, and help you clarify what are the blocks in the way and what are the action you can take to overcome this block. And I would say especially my specialty is really around careers and having the fulfilling career you want. Also any kind of lifestyle dream that are important to you, like if you want to move to another country or something, a dream that is really dear to your heart. And so I'll be happy to get on the phone with you and do a 20 minutes assessment of what's really going on for you, and a roadmap to help you see what can help you next. So if you are interested in this session, I want you to put in the comment below manifesting. Just put the word manifesting in the comment below, and I'll reach out to you with a few questions to ensure this session is good for you, and we'll schedule a call together.